Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is Fair Trade Bible Study that is environmentally and socially sustainable. Now you may ask, why Fair Trade Bible Study? Well, it's fair trade because Daily Dose Radio is promoting the sustainable development of better Bible study on a global level. Welcome. Come on in. The Bible Bistro is open, and we're serving it up hot and fresh today. Today we're looking at Psalm 30. Actually, all this week we're doing Psalm 30. 12 verses in this psalm. We're going to study all 12 verses, and today we're looking at verses 1 and 2. This is a psalm that has a little bit of an introduction to it. A psalm, a song of dedication of the house of David. Actually, we just studied in my Wednesday night Bible study at church. We were going through 1 Chronicles. 1 Chronicles tells us that Hiram, king of Tyre, came down and blessed David with cedar and workers and all kinds of timber and masons, and they built David a house. So I'm wondering if this is not the house that Hiram built for him there in Jerusalem. And so David, as David does, he writes a song for it. So they're going to dedicate the house. This is a house fit for a king. And so David, the king, writes a song. And he begins this psalm with these words, I exalt you, O Lord, for you have lifted me up, and have not let my enemies rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I called to you, and you healed me. Now those are the first two verses of this psalm. And you can see right away that doesn't extol the exploits of David. It doesn't extol his great prowess as a warrior or the battles that he's won or the way he politically maneuvered his enemies. What this psalm extols from the very beginning, and we see it here in the very first verse, it extols the Lord. I exalt you, O Lord, for you have lifted me up. You see, David didn't have the opinion that he had lifted him up by his own bootstraps. He is not a self-made man. No, he is a broken man that the Lord has brought from the dung heap to this position. So he gives credit where credit is due. You, O Lord, you have lifted me up, and have not let my enemies rejoice over me. So on the one hand, David is lifting up the Lord because the Lord has lifted him up. So the exaltation, he is putting him on high because the Lord has lifted him up and put him over men on high on a rock, a little pencil of a piece of rock that sticks out from the Mount Zion that used to be called the City of David. Still there. You can go there today and stand on its precipice and look out over that great valley. It's a beautiful sight. David, in his house, looking out across that great valley, says, you, Lord, have done this. How many men today would take time to, instead of extolling themselves, their virtues, their accomplishments, would say, I didn't do any of this, the Lord did. Verse 2, O Lord my God, I called to you, and you healed me. Pretty simple, isn't it? That's pretty straightforward. O Lord my God, I called to you, and you healed me. And the word here is the word for healing. It's the medical term, to be healed. I wonder if not only does this have to do with the healing of the body, but also perhaps the healing of the spirit. Because David was hunted. He was hated. He was despised by Saul. And the enemies all around him wanted him dead. So I wonder if perhaps he's extolling the Lord because of the healing that he's received in his life, not just the healing that perhaps he'd received physically, but perhaps this is a healing that has restored him spiritually and mentally. His soulish nature has been redeemed. The balm of the Gilead has laid hold upon him and made a difference. Notice again just how straightforward this is. I called, you healed. Why don't you call on the Lord today? Ask him for healing. Join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 3, 4, and 5 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.